Hadi Naqvi from Ustor.
Back with another episode of the Unmatched podcast, and as you are fully aware, I deal with knowing the trade union movement, politics, but also business, because this is where it all comes together within business. And today I am quite happy and honored, really proud to present a special guest here. Her name is Emma Mattocks. She started off within the Federation of Small Businesses and then created her own business network called the One Network, where she's actually gone out there off her own back and has generated a network of over 1,500 small to medium-sized business enterprises by herself. That's not an easy feat to do. And that is something quite unique, especially when you find that you're having a little support along the way. So what I wanted to do was explore that side of the business environment. So everyone, please feel free to give Emma Mattocks a warm welcome. And how you doing, Emma? Really good. I'm really good. Just enjoying the wonderful British weather. You know, the sunshine is not out, as always. This is the only country where we can have all 4 seasons in one day. So, you know, it's actually really... Absolutely. And it's really good to have you here.
It's wonderful.
Well.
Keeps you on your toes, sir. Keep you on your toes.
What, 5 years now? Yeah. We did. And then you asked me to come along to the One Network when I was actually doing my mortgage advising.
Yeah, we met at the Federation of Small Businesses, right?
Yeah, very recently joined the One Network.
Yes, you recently joined us,
after a bit of time out from the One Network. Just focus on myself a little bit more. And, you know, it's great seeing the interactivity and the business referrals that are taking place.
Lovely. So if you've been with us for 5 years, you would have seen some changes then. The WhatsApp group is a new introduction to the business community, and it just kind of made it easier for our lovely One members to communicate in the first instance with me. So I'm one person trying to communicate with a great many business owners, and it just sort of made it easier. But actually, also, we created a safe space for you guys as business owners to talk very freely about the daily grind that we all go through, I go through, you go through, all the One members go through, to try and grow our businesses really and make it a success.
I'm really glad to be a part of it.
So it's lovely to have you with us there, and thank you for inviting me onto your exciting
basically
podcast.
What your journey actually was from the beginning, because was you always within business on the self-employed side of things?
So I've always been in sales. I took a brief time out from sales to become a school teacher, which very quickly became apparent that I wasn't suited to the profession. Children are very funny, and as soon as you laugh, children will spot that, use that as a weakness. So I just wasn't able to control a classroom. So I've always been in sales. Citibank nabbed me when I left college with A levels. And from there on, I've always just been in sales. And so how I find myself as a business owner is by pure accident. I am the ultimate accidental business owner. Pure accident. I'm a salesperson at heart. That's my happy place. I love the sales process. I love selling things. I love helping the people that I work for and the people that I work with, the clients. And so, yeah, I'm a salesperson, and being a business owner has been a shock to my system, as I think any business owner finds. As soon as they go into business, the dream and reality collide, and you're left without any sleep. You don't have any time for yourself. Your hair may fall out. You may lose weight. You may put on weight. You basically go crazy. But if you've got a dream and it's inside you, the question becomes, how can I not? Not how can I not? And so that's where I found myself 5 years ago when I embarked upon this incredible journey of being a business owner. How can I not? Would you like to know some more?
Well, I mean, it is your story, because, you know,
Shall I add a bit more onto that
the difference
story?
between what your passion was, and the reason why you went into becoming a business owner, because it was, as with many of the business owners I've met, and talk to, they've
Mm.
seen a passion and they want to follow it through. And what's kept them going has been an enthusiasm as well as the energy that's needed. Like what you said, the energy, it keeps you awake at night and makes you wake up early in the morning just to get through and getting into to deal with more, especially if you were being very, very successful in getting the results that you want. It's when you're having the strenuous days where the days are by yourself, you're not getting the results that you want, you questioning why are you doing this for, and all the rest of that makes, you know. And then again, I met those kind of people as well that have actually gone through it. They were quite successful and they've gone through the dip. It came to things like scaling up the business from one self-employed person to now taking on more people, you know, and offsetting and delegating responsibilities. And that can have its own challenges as well. And you've done it from a different perspective. You've looked at providing a network for business owners to actually generate referrals, which can convert into business. You know, sort of like the BNI or for networking or any of the other sort of established networks that are out there.
Very different, very different. We're nothing like them. I must intercept and just make that really, really clear. We are absolutely nothing like BNI, 4N, or any other sort of networking organization that you've ever come across before. The software that I've built came out of necessity for me. So a very long story short, I was very, very happy working as a sales membership advisor at the Federation of Small Businesses. Very happy. They approached me. They saw my CV on the internet. They said, would you be interested in working for a not-for-profit? I thought, oh God, not for profit. The money's going to be dire. And actually, I had never had a sales job before working for the FSB that just captured my heart. And I was all in with the FSB, and I fell madly in love with them, and I love them still to this day for what they do for the small business owner. And so I was very happy being a very successful membership advisor with the Federation of Small Businesses here in London. They were happy with me. They even gave me an award. I was very pleased. Thank you for my award for doing a great job. And what happened was I became very busy very quickly, because I was giving a lot of my own free time to the FSB members. And the main thing that I was giving my time for, my own free time that I don't get paid for, because I love the small business owner. I love them. I do. They are the backbone of this country, and they work so hard, and they work with passion, and they work from the heart. And so I love the small business owner and the self-employed. So I was giving my free time to all of my lovely FSB members who would say to me, Emma, now that I'm an FSB member, do you know anybody in the Federation that would want my products or services? And I always did. I'm in a position where I know lots and lots of business owners. I have a huge network that I think I've got 10,000 businesses in my network now, 11,000 actually. And so I did. So I was spending all my time connecting businesses to each other for the purpose of new business. And I was getting very busy very quickly. So what I had to do then was find a way of making this more efficient. There's no way you can't connect two businesses together if you know that it will be of benefit to one or both, and then sleep at night. You can't. You have to make the connection. I do anyway. So that's what I did. So I went away and I thought to myself, okay, I'm a human directory. So my first attempt was to build a directory. And then I quickly realized, no, people will still come and ask you, Emma. It's quicker to ask you than to go to your website and look at a directory and then call the person. So then I came up with Olga. Olga is the one lead generation algorithm, and she is just incredible. She is 5 years in the making. We launched her last August, and she quite simply, nothing like her exists. Nothing. I cannot get this across strong enough. There is nothing like Olga that exists on the market at present, because I've looked. And if there was, I wouldn't have had to build it. I'm not a techie. I'm a salesperson. At best, I'm a school teacher. I'm not a techie. But I built this incredible technology with my team in India. I went to Sweden, and with one other guy I call Spock up in Yorkshire. And it matches businesses to other businesses for the purpose of new business. And so now, no longer do I have to spend 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day sending emails to each other, introducing people who should speak to each other
What made
because
you take the
there's
leap?
an opportunity to do business. Olga does it all for me.
Well, yeah. So what made you actually
we are.
take the leap into
That's
this
where we're at.
venture? You know, again, away from the security that the small Federation of Small Businesses gave.
Hey content creators, this is my chance to do a quick review of a product I bought on a TikTok shop and I think you guys are going to love it. It's a green screen disc that fits on the back of a chair. It can fit to almost any surface, and if you've got a area like a flat or a single bedroom or a bed set where you're living in where you've got no space, this is ideal for those who are using it for things like Twitch, streaming, or just general YouTube videos. Like so. So get yours in the TikTok shop today. I'll leave the link in here.
The time. So it was just necessity. It was a combination of necessity. Necessity is the mother of all invention. Necessity. I just needed something that would make my life easier. I never had any intention of coming away from the Federation of Small Businesses out of my sales role. I just thought I would build this thing and it would make my life easier. But no business owner is ever prepared. If you've never gone into business before, you will never ever be prepared in your wildest imaginations for the time and the money and the labor that will go in to starting and running a business. And so I had to make a decision. And with a heavy heart, I had to come away from the Federation of Small Businesses to focus on my own business, because I'm the kind of person that once I start something, I will see it right through to the end. I've got a good head for sports. I'm a real sporty girl. And so if I start something, I will just give it my all. And it usually comes to a good end. I just had no idea, thankfully, that being a business owner was going to be so hard. I mean, any business owner knows you will have days where you will cry. You will just melt down. You will just have a breakdown. And then you have to find the fortitude within yourself to pick yourself up, because nobody else is going to pick you up. You've got to pick yourself up and carry on. And I think that's being resilient and being sporty. You know, when you get knocked down in sport, you've got to get back up again and carry on playing. And I think that's held me in good stead.
It's very
in business,
interesting.
Being quite sporty like that.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's a shock to the system.
I completely
right,
get
Hadi?
that. And it's very interesting because the take
system.
that you've given is very much an American sort of business mindset. You know, whether you look at Tony Robbins or where you look at Jim Rohn, Robert Kiyosaki, any of these mentors, Brian Tracy is who I've always really loved listening to, especially from the sales perspective. And all these guys would say the same thing. You need to have fortitude, but you need to never give up, keep going, but learn from the mistakes that you're putting in. And there are going to be tough times. So it's got to be discipline over motivation, because the discipline is going to get you through the hard times. Especially when you don't feel like getting up in the mornings or don't feel like doing something, you don't feel like it. The discipline will make sure that you get on and get that call in. Talk to that one client that has always said no to you, because it may be that time that they will say yes. And, you know, I've gone through it all. Just give me a second.
This is where we edit. You disappeared. When you're doing a podcast, and your podcaster just quits.
No idea what happened there, but it's restarted. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, guys. There were some technical difficulties that had actually taken place, but don't worry. Riverside FM sorted it all out. Look, but I will be putting the complaint to you guys. Sorry, we were basically where we were was we were talking about the different mentors that are out there in terms of from the Nightingale Cohen type, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy. They all say the same kind of thing about fortitude and having that discipline, because that beats motivation hands down, especially when you're not feeling the day. You're not everything's going wrong. You're getting the no's all the time. But the discipline keeps you going along the way to get the yeses, so that you can get the productivity in. Now, I'm talking from a sales sort of point of view, but we know that business isn't just sales. There's a lot more elements to business. There's marketing, there's administration, there's servicing elements that go behind it. Yeah. Then when you start scaling up, you then got to look after staff, you know, and with the advent of AI as well, although it's helping to streamline things, you're still having to deal with putting in processes and systems into place. So with yourself going into that environment from in terms of the one networking, what did you feel were your kind of challenges that you weren't ready for when you was doing sales?
Good question. So it's interesting that you would pick up on the American sort of tone in what I say, because my grandparents had a business in New York for 30 years, and we would be able to go and visit them for the school summer holidays. And so as a child, I spent quite a lot of time in the Bronx in New York with my grandparents. And so I definitely feel that I've incorporated some of that American openness. I'm very open, I'm very friendly. Sometimes I'm a bit too loud for our ultra conservative British public here. And so that's quite interesting. To go on to your question, which was prepared, did you say? Something about
it's more a case of adapting, because you've gone from sales, one element of the business, to now a business owner, which is completely different.
Yes.
Completely different. Yeah, sales is still there.
Yes.
You need to bring in the income.
Yes.
But then you're dealing with administration. You're not dealing with servicing of clients, making sure their expectations are met. You're dealing with compliance if you're in a regulated based industry. Yeah, how did you adapt to that change?
How have I adapted?
It must have been a culture shock.
Yeah. Very quickly. Yeah. So very quickly. So the reason why my business I fully believe the reason why my business has succeeded in the face of severe adversity is because I'm a salesperson at heart. And so I've always been able to pump in the cash flow as much as has been needed. Yeah. So that has held us in good stead. I've had to adapt. I think the biggest way that I've had to adapt is I have had to take a good hard look at myself and my faults and fix them very quickly. And that's with people, my people skills. When I first came into business, I was pretty awful to work for, I think. I bet I was an absolute tyrant. The Devil Wears Prada. Is that the film? With Meryl Streep, like her, just not as beautiful. I bet I was awful. And the reason I was like that, and I've had to change, and I had to change very quickly, or else my business wouldn't have survived and have grown, and it has grown, thankfully, is because that's how I was treated in work, in business. My parents had me when they were teenagers and worked every day of their lives and did very well for themselves, and I learned from that. And so I had to adapt in as much as I suppose move with the times. What is acceptable in the workplace now, what isn't acceptable in the workplace now was acceptable when I was 17, 18, in my 20s and in my 30s. I mean, I'm so obedient in the workplace. If you say jump, I will ask my boss how high, no questions asked. And so I think that held me in good stead in sales. I had some really great jobs. I worked for Citibank. I worked for British Gas. I was an estate agent. The FSB invited me to come and work for them. I didn't need to interview or apply. So I think having that work ethic in the workplace was very good for me as an employee. When I became an employer, post-COVID, nobody's responding to jump. No one was asking me, Emma, how high? And so my staff intake and outtake was like a revolving door at first. What I've learned to do is think, right, I've got a problem. This particular problem is staff. I'm sick of getting good staff. I'm sick of them then back chatting with me, not doing what I ask, me having to go, them leaving, me having to replace and it repeating. I thought, what's going wrong? And somehow I came to realize that if you motivate your staff, they'll work harder for you. Motivate them. Be good for them. Take an interest. Be a human being. Be a decent human being. Take an interest in their lives outside of work, their interest, their family, their pets. Be a friend. Be genuine. And this has worked. And so I don't now, when I want somebody to do something, I don't just say, morning, can you do this? Let me know when it's done. I say, good morning. How are you? Did you sleep well? And then I would ask them very nicely if they could do something Do you have any questions? I mean, I would get so upset if somebody would ask me questions. Like, what are you asking me questions for? If you can't do your job, you shouldn't be here. Now, I'd like to think that I treat people with more dignity and respect and humanity and kindness and gratitude. Hence, I've got some really good people around me. I've finally found a really nice business partner. I call him Spock. And it's nice. It's just a nice way to do business, I think. And yeah, motivate people and care.
That's interesting
It
that you
goes
said
a
that,
long
because the
way.
1 minute manager goes into that quite well. 1 minute showing, 1 minute of telling, 1 minute of reprimanding if the staff haven't done it. But it's to gain that sort of authority. And the biggest problem that we've found, again, from a trade union sort of perspective, when it came to the managers, was that a little bit of power did go to their head. And somehow they felt no accountability. With business owners, it's more a matter of, well, it's all on me. If I'm scaling up, it's all on me. If I'm not focused on making the processes right, my staff will leave quickly. And in that sense, you've also got other factors as well. And with a lot of the businesses that you deal with, they are regulated from external regulators. So if it's a cafe, it'll be the Food Standards Agency. If it is financial services, or it's the FCA, whether that's mortgages or financial planners. If it is, I don't know, accountancy, they have their regulators, being the awarding body. The ACCA or the CIMA, those kind of things. Chartered Institute for Management Accountants, that kind of thing. When you're looking at these kinds of areas, do you feel that the regulators are now catching up with what is going on with the world currently? Or do you feel that they're still quite behind with the times?
Yeah. There's definitely some changes out there in the workplace. Change is inevitable. Nobody likes change. Change is very slow to come, but if there's one thing you can guarantee on in life, is that change will always come.
Hey everyone, I got this massage gun from TikTok shop and I'm doing a quick review on it. So you have the gun itself, 4 different heads, and they're all worth it. Easy to fit on heads, easy to turn on, and different settings. So whatever kind of job you do, warehouse, driving, if you're coming back from the gym, hard day at work, this is ideal. And easy interchangeable. Even massaging, different muscle groups, different settings. And if you put more pressure on it, it will put more pressure on the muscle too. And this is really good value for money. I got it from the TikTok shop and you won't regret it. Costs less than £20. Compared to Amazon, over 50. So get yours on the TikTok shop today.
Nothing ever stays the same. So I think it's going in the right direction. I think, we've got more equality, more diversity. People have got more rights now, But you do see organisations trying to claw back the way things used to be, which was very unbalanced. I think it was more on the employer's term. And they're trying to get the workers to come back into the office with the 9 to 5. And I'm dead against it. Happy workers are more productive workers and just makes for a better world. Let people be happy. Let them have some freedom. Let them have a nice balance. It's not all about profit. You need to make a profit. You do need to make a profit. Otherwise, you've got no business. But I think we see a bit more of the human side coming through post-COVID. But I just think it's really funny that the employers are trying to get the staff to come back in. And I just don't think it's necessary, other than wanting to just kind of watch your staff the whole time. Watch your staff and squeeze them for every single piece of labour that you can get out of them within an inch of their lives. And I think it's a new world now. And I just hope that people stick up for themselves, and they don't. I just hope people don't go back to the way things were, and then they're not stuck in the office every day, 9 to 5. I love the office. Let me just say, I love the office. I love the office environment, but I like having, as a business owner, I like having the choice. And I'm sure my staff and everybody else likes having a choice as well. It's something about keeping choices, having choices. Does that answer your question, Hadi? If it doesn't, Just shake your head and ask it again.
Doing this to me.
Am I not coming through? Do you want me to give you a call? Internet problems. Hadi's got the internet problems. Hello, everybody. So I'm just doing Hadi's internet podcast.
I don't know what's going on with the...
Internet podcast.
Yeah, I
was
don't...
back again.
I still don't know
Hey,
what's
hey,
going on
hey.
because
Hadi.
basically it seems to be... Yes, Riverside, I am going to be making a complaint to you guys. I can't believe that this is going on. It's never happened to me before, and I'm pretty sure... Well,
What's happening?
this is unusual that the...
It's my incredible magnetism.
I think
It's
that's where
messing
it
up the
is.
text.
Yes, definitely. But that's all good, guys. You know, we're getting a wealth of knowledge, and again, in edit, I will make sure that this flows better. So
You'll do your
yeah,
editing
which would just be
magic.
pressing a button and leaving it at that. So you was making a real strong point about people, businesses asking for workers to come back into the office, and the world has changed. And that's that the staff, they're happy. Let them be happy because they're productive. The real reason why it seems to be the case is
Let them be happy.
the real reason is short and simple. You want to monitor them.
Yeah. There's an argument to be had where it's happiness and productivity versus profit. I think they're separate. I think you can be happy and productive and then you make a profit, or you just focus on profit and you forget about the happiness of your workers and you forget about the productivity. You just focus on the profit. And I think that could be counterproductive. I really do. Long term. And also, you've got to try and make the world a better place. You just do. Because if nobody's trying to make the world a better place, then it won't be.
Well, this is part of the reason why.
There's a bit of a hippie
This
in
is
me.
part of the reason why I became a trade unionist in more ways than one, because there was that element. Yeah,
Love
and
trade
I
union.
think it's a vital part. Small businesses becoming medium to large size businesses will then be under more scrutiny. And by having a recognised trade union in there, then the accessibility is also there too. So a small business becoming a medium-sized business will then have to hire more people who will then look at compliance, such as Health and Safety at Work Act and Equalities Act, looking at things like the HR and making sure it works in line with employment law, and so that staff are on the right side of legislation. Otherwise, they can be subject to employment tribunals. And what I found when being part of the trade union movement was that we were able to make positive changes that actually increase the profit and productivity of staff as well, while leading back into a churn. That profit led to more people being hired. So the work is being given out and the businesses are growing. I mean, they're growing in a compliant manner. What I found, is again the challenge. Big businesses, yes, absolutely fine. Office environments, absolutely fine. But when we're looking at small to medium-sized businesses, it is a really tricky element. And I don't think everyone quite understands what a day in the life is of a small business owner. From your experience, what has been a day in the life of Emma Mattocks?
Yeah. So I've only recently stopped working 7 days a week. And that's just because the software, after 5 years, has been built. And I finally now have my weekends back. But it took 5 years of working 7 days a week to get to this spot. So what does I'll try and give you a mean average, because my Monday to Friday really hasn't changed in the 5 years. Just the weekend still. Get some sleep now. Some time with my family. So I'm a 5 a.m.er. So I always get up between 5 and 5:30. Lovely. Depending on how many times I press snooze at 5 a.m. 5:30, I'm up. And I always have a really nice coffee. Just honestly, whatever it is, caramel, hot chocolate in there, rose petals, doesn't matter. Throw it in, because how you start your day will set the tone for the rest of the day. So give yourself whatever it is you need in the morning to be happy. So I get up, 5:30, my incredible coffee. Then literally within 15 minutes, I'm doing emails in my pajamas. I will be doing emails and I will be doing correspondence.
No,
Let's
sorry.
say that again, Mr. Coffee. So come 5:30, I've got my coffee, I'm awake and I'm doing emails, I'm doing marketing. I always start the day with saying good morning to everybody. I always speak to you guys in the WhatsApp group first of all when I do my marketing, because I'm speaking to people who I speak to every single day. I mean, we even talk on Saturdays and Sundays, and I always speak from the heart. And whatever I say to you guys in the WhatsApp group, and I then copy and paste that and put it out there on social media, is how I truly, truly feel in that minute. So like this morning, I said to you guys, if I just get the WhatsApp group up, I just want to give all the listeners an example of how I am. I mean, this is me in my pajamas, having my coffee, talking to you guys from the heart. And so it doesn't go unnoticed how much of an effect it has on you guys. So I've just said, good morning, a beautiful day awaits, smiles to be shared and warm greetings to exchange. Whatever your wildest dream is, go after that this week. Happy Monday, everybody. And then I put some kisses and emojis there. And so that's how I feel in the morning. So there we go. So after I've done my emails, after I've done the marketing, after I've done said hello, I'll then get up and at it. And I'm usually showered and out the door by between 7:30 and 8:30. I then usually go and do some exercise. So I'll usually then go and do some exercise. I'll do anywhere between 3 and 6 miles around Hampstead. And that usually takes me to late morning. I'll have a juice or a coffee or some fruit, and then I'll work up until lunchtime, and then I'm dead. And I usually take my sales calls as well. If you take a call from me, I could be walking around the heath and my adrenaline's pumped up and I'm calm and I'm amongst nature, and anybody I speak to will get the very best of me because I'm giving myself what I need to be the best version of myself, which then allows me to give everybody else what you need from me. So you need me to be a nice, calm, pleasant, motivational, aspirational even, or inspiring employer. So I'll be that. I'll make sure that my staff are on point. They're doing what they need to do. If they need anything from me, they'll get it from me. But I still give one-to-one sales support. And two of the things that I find that people really gain from having those one-to-ones with me. So when you're a one member, you get access to the software, the WhatsApp group, but you also get me. And I'm an award-winning sales advisor. My skill set is very low. I have 2 skills in life, sport and sales. And so there's a lot of business owners out there who are very good at their business, but they never thought, how am I going to sell it? How am I going to market it? So I find that a typical day for me after the administration is done, when I'm not networking to try and get new people into the one network, I'm giving our current members existing sales support, and that just looks like confidence. Confidence. I don't know where I got my boundless confidence from. I've found out recently that I went to the same dance and drama school as George Michael and Amy Winehouse. What a shame that I didn't stick in the tap dance classes. But I've got a lot of confidence, so I share that. And I try and draw that out of people. You have it in you. We all have it within ourselves to be whatever we want to be. We truly, truly do if we just believe in ourselves. Just believe in yourself and then you can make the rest happen. So that's the first thing I try and do. And then the second thing is the skill set. So there's a very hard and fast winning formula to selling anything. Sell me this pen, sure. Give me 2 minutes, I'll sell you the pen. And so that's what I try and also give to the lovely one members so that they can succeed and grow. And it's just so rewarding. The profit, I know it sounds really, really cheesy, but the profit is second. I just love what I do. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have passion for what
That's
you
a
do.
typical day. And then I'll sort of die about 2 or 3. Yeah, and then
So
I'll
I'll make
drop
sure we won't call you
at
after
2 or 3. So and the reason for that is I am like a cheetah. I work in sprints. I will run as fast as I can for as far as I can without stopping, and then I stop, and then I rest, and then I repeat. And literally, when I'm off, I am like a dead person. I won't speak to anybody. I won't speak. I shut down. I give myself what I need. I recharge, gather my strength, and then I pop up again. It's a typical day, yeah. And there's not much room for anybody else in my life other than my business, my dog, and my family. That's my life. And God, I love God.
I think we all do. There's that element there that you mentioned about switching off. And, I've seen that with a lot of small business owners, that they find it hard to switch off. Many business coaches actually say, when you're going on holiday, if you do take a holiday, you make enough money, you do take a holiday, leave your business phone at home. Take a definite break. Why do you feel that certain businesses or business owners find it difficult to take a break? Even when they grow into a higher level, they become a medium-sized business, they can't seem to delegate or feel that their staff that they've hired can do a better job than, or can do the same jobs that they can do. They feel that no, they can't do it as well as me, and I have to jump in. Any tips to avoid that kind of pitfall?
So while you were talking, the word that came to my mind when you said about going on holiday and leaving your work phone at home, there's one word that will ring true with all of us business owners when they hear that. It's the word impossible. Impossible. And if it is possible, you need a lot of willpower and probably a lot of people telling you to put down that phone, because the reason why it's impossible, I haven't managed to do it yet. So if there's anybody out there, any business owners that have nailed it, let me know. I find it absolutely impossible, and I look forward to the day when I am able to put down my phone and go away on holiday. One, because you love what you do. You love it. And so you don't want to be away from it. You don't want to be away from it. In a way, taking me away from my business is a punishment. So why would I punish myself? I love my business. That's where I want to be. That's my happy place. So I think that's the first thing. The second thing is also, as business owners, we very quickly come to realize that nobody will ever love and care for your business in the same way that you do. They just won't. And managers are good, and we all need managers, and we all need business partners, founders. It's your business, it's your baby, and everything is at stake. Everything. I'm all in. I've put everything, all my time, my labor, my money, my spare cash, everything's in here. So I think there's also the risk factor. I cannot trust anybody that I know to delicately look after all of that in the same way that I would. So I don't trust anybody. And in business, it only takes one bad deal for you to kind of not trust anybody. And it's a daily thing. Constantly people are coming at you with the lies, trying to trip you up, trying to steal your idea, trying to take your money, take your staff, take everything you've worked hard for. So there's that. There's the fact that you love your business, you want to be there. It's hard to take time off because that's your happy place. But also, who do you trust? Who do you trust? And even when you go to sleep, as business owners, we're all sleeping with one eye open on our businesses.
Yeah,
because
your competition is always out there,
and it's so competitive.
Your competition, no matter what field you're in, always there. But having said that, like what you said, you've got a lot of passion for it. You've laid out a lot of things about challenges that have come right through the trust factor, so on and so forth. But you've also given some good solutions there for those challenges. Personally, I think it's quite refreshing to hear this, It's because you've got a unique perspective. And I think that's come from, having dealt with a lot of the people in small businesses. Then, when you're dealing with business owners that are naturally skeptical. Like what you said, people are always out there, what's in it for me? That kind of thing. And you've been able to demonstrate that this is your personal, it's your baby, really. You're looking after it and making it grow in that way. And so you always will care for it. But in terms of the challenges which are out there, now I'm going to be looking at the sort of bigger picture. From what you've seen with your members at the moment, what has been the sort of challenges that are affecting business in terms of growth, in terms of regulation, industry that you're finding at this moment in time? That government or... Oh, come on!
Frozen again. Is it frozen again? I'm doing my little dance. Frozen dance. Hello, everybody. Hadi's Riverside FM is frozen, or my side's frozen. Anyway, I'm having a great time. I highly recommend giving Hadi's podcast to go. He's asked me loads of interesting questions, actually. Interesting questions. All right, everybody. Can't believe it's 12:30. Oh my God, it's dinner time. Have a lovely day, everybody. From me and Hadi on the Frozen podcast. Come on, what's happening? happening?
Emma, I'm just waiting for it to reload. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Bounce back.
So-
Let me put that on mute.
Oh, there's a bounce
Sorry.
back. Let me
Yeah.
put that on mute. Sorry.
Use then? Do you go through like
What
a
is
third
it that
party
you
channel?
use then? Do you go
It's
through,
called
like, a
Riverside
third-party
FM,
channel or
and this is the
something?
first time this has ever happened to me using Riverside. Usually it just goes through absolutely fine. So I've got no idea what's going on, hence why I'm going to be putting a complaint to them, because I'm paying for this. But the
Oh,
funny thing is, your
no.
interview's giving viral clips at the moment. And don't worry, there's going to be a lot of good things going on out there. When I edit it up, it will run a bit more smoothly. Like I said, I'm just waiting for this to just reload, and then we'll finish it off. We'll finish off with challenges, and then go into a better tomorrow, what you feel is a better tomorrow, and then the shout outs. Then that's it. We're literally that far away, and we've gone to the challenges part,
lovely.
which is the regulation side of things. Then it would just be what you feel is going to be a better tomorrow, and that's your personal take on things. And then, you know, your shout outs.
Yeah.
And you can shout out your wonderful Clive Barker.
Ah.
I have,
Sure. I was going to talk about cash flow. I mean, cash flow has
Yeah.
always been the biggest
and it
challenge
still is today.
for small businesses.
Absolutely.
And it still is today.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's changed.
For people.
And I think it's actually
Oh,
got
well,
worse for people.
we'll
So
hold that
we'll
thought. I'm just gonna go
hold
to-
that thought.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
fine.
going to go
That's
to
fine.
the ladies then. And then
Yeah, it'll be
hopefully when I
open.
come back,
yeah,
Riverside
same
will have
here.
sorted
I'm
out
hoping
their
so too.
stuff.
I'm not sure what is happening, but I'll do my part here.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Emma.
Bathroom break. Amazing. All right, see you in a sec then. Oh,
That's okay. That's okay. Camera's off.
I'm
Absolutely
just gonna blow
fine.
my nose. Hello. I'm just blowing my nose. You don't need to see this bit. No, I can't hear anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure you guys get your
Right, still blowing my nose. Sorry.
your stuff.
It's hay fever season. You get allergies.
We are back.
Antihistamine, sir. Yeah.
So just to
Antihistamine.
catch
There
up,
you go,
basically
better
what
now.
we were doing, we
How
were
are we
looking at
doing then? Are we
challenges,
rocking and
that
rolling
business owners
again?
go through. I was looking at regulations, but there's other challenges out there as well.
Okay, lovely.
You know, regulations, politics, external factors, cost of living crisis, even cash flow. You know, what do you feel is right now the sort of challenges that is affecting the small and medium-sized business community?
So I actually don't think things have really changed for the business owner in the last 5, 10, 20 years in terms of challenges. I think the challenge is still the same. It's cash flow. It's cash flow. And actually, if anything, things have got even harder for the small business owner because nobody's lending. Nobody's lending. And in the tech scene, the tech sector where I live, it's even worse because there was a tech bubble and everybody was terribly excited about finding a unicorn, which is, you know, a company like Uber or Deliveroo or something like that blows up. Are we still recording? Hadi's disappeared. I feel to wait. Business be unicorn. Sip pina coladas in Barbados on the beach. Not very impressed with this, Hadi.
Right, I am back.
very
I don't know what is
impressed.
going on here. Right, I am back. I don't know what is going on here, but things are
We need
going.
to get new Riverside.
I think so.
Podcasts.
I'm sending their feedback already because they kind
No
of stopped
sound,
this
sir. No sound.
on Riverside. What is going on?
Sound is back. Sound is back.
All right, let's see. Sound is back, yeah? Sorry about this, guys. Emma, you was talking about your part about cash flow.
Yeah, so I just sort of mentioned before that I think cash flow for the small business owner is still the same, is the main problem that has existed forever. It's this cash flow. It's cash flow. Trying to get it in. I know late payments are the biggest killer of small businesses. We learned that at the federations, late payments. And so being aware of that, I always try and pay on time. If I'm late, I will sometimes pay a late fee. I will just put it on myself as a penalty, as a way of saying sorry to the person that I paid late. And the reason why I'm paying late is probably because somebody's paid me late. So late payments are the biggest killer of all small businesses. Cash flow is still the number one problem. Nobody's lending, so it's actually harder now. I think it's harder than it's ever been to keep cash flow going in. They're now trying to take cash away. I mean, when cash flow is a problem, and now the government and the banks are trying to take cash away, it's just another challenge for the small business owner. And I'm so against these businesses now that don't take cash that I've started boycotting them. If you don't take cash, you will not get any of my money. It's a loss of civil liberty and democracy and financial autonomy. Riverside, you're doing a terrible job. Terrible job. I shan't be using you for my podcasts. Everybody must do this.
We'll do it this way. So you can hear me okay. Bless you. That's okay. It's not like I'm not used to it.
I feel sorry for you. You've got so much editing to do.
Here we go. Don't worry. It's all good.
Aw.
Hey everyone, you might be lucky to get safety boots from your employer. And these are absolutely fine to have, but guess what? They don't necessarily have the right supports and can leave you feeling aches and pains, especially in your arches at the end of the day, leading to fallen arches. So make sure you get some arch supports. These are useful. They slip into your boot and give the same comfort as trainers, enabling you to walk around all day long, doing all the heavy lifting, no matter what the job is that you're doing, and you won't feel any pain at the end of the day. They will leave you feeling really good at the end of the day, so make sure you order yours at the TikTok shop for the price of less than a packet of chips.
All right.
I hope you've got somebody else. I hope you delegate that.
1. Emma, we're going to look at some of the challenges because you briefly mentioned about a lot of the challenges that are facing businesses at the moment, from regulation, politics, cash flow, all kinds of things. But for you, in your experience, what has been the biggest sort of challenge that the small to medium-sized business community is facing right now?
So, small businesses are struggling with the cash flow. Nobody's lending. Nobody's investing. For me, I came into tech when everybody was terribly excited about tech. They'd just seen Uber and Deliveroo and Facebook, sort of blow up. And people were trying to get into tech. And money was being handed out left, right and centre. I didn't know this, of course, until I got into tech, and there was like money, yeah, take it. Apparently, with the tech sector. So COVID hit, I started my business. I registered it on Mother's Day as a gift to myself. And the biggest challenge that I found is trying to get investment. And so we've grown organically. We are a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I'm very, very lucky in that I am a salesperson. Maybe it's just that I'm a salesperson, but I think that my idea is such a good idea, and that it's such a USP that is why we've weathered the storm of a lack of investment and loans and finance being offered to the small business owner. I think it is the idea itself is so original. I think that's a challenge. I think for the small startup, there are lots of costs involved in starting a business, which again is a shame. I just came back from a month in India with my tech team to build the software. And so you get to see how other cultures, other nations, other people do business. And it's a lot more free. It's a lot more free in India. I mean, I can just rock up to India, put a pasting table outside on the street and start trading and start selling, and nobody's going to give me any problems. You try and do that here, the police are going to move you along, HMRC want to know about it, health and safety, where's your insurance, etc., etc., etc. Go away. I think things need to be a lot more free for the small business owner, and a lot more support needs to happen for them. The Federation of Small Businesses do a fantastic job. They just do such an amazing job with helping with the finance and helping with the legal. The other thing, though, I think the small business owner needs to do is to have room to start, room to grow, room to nurture and incubate. Office space is a premium. I mean, if you're a small business owner, or if you're in a 9-to-5 and you have a great idea and you just want to give it a go, you should be able to give it a go. It shouldn't be so hard. You shouldn't have to push through so many walls and barriers in order to just give your idea a go and see if it will flourish. It could be really good for humanity and the community and the world. So at the minute, I think there's lots of barrier to entry as a small business owner. And I think the system in this country anyway is geared up to putting everybody into a 9 to 5.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's
9
from
to
our history
5.
because we come
And
from a
that's a really sad
feudal-based
thing
society,
for
and
the
that
country,
has still
the economy, but for
it's kind of
individuals.
manifested during this industrial revolution into keeping the 80% of the population within that 9 to 5 mentality and small business mentality. I'm talking about Robert Kiyosaki now here with his Rich Dad Poor Dad stuff and going into the different side of the cash flow quadrant in the big business owner. But to scale up or to in the UK, you're right. There is a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of compliance to be able to scale it up. And people that are known within the financial services industry, they have to get permission from a unofficial business partner, being the compliance department, to be able to employ another person, as an example, or have another advisor underneath them. That's not good because it stifles entrepreneurship and creativity, as well as being able to give more people an opportunity. And something does need to be done about it. And you're absolutely right about cash flow. Cash flow is king. But this will lead us to the next part, which is finishing this all off, which is for you, what do you envisage? Knowing that this is the case, what do you think is going to be a better tomorrow for our business community?
For our business community,
Any.
do you mean
Even the
for
one,
small
why not
businesses
both?
or the one
Because you've got such a
network?
great experience on the Federation of Small Businesses, you've done it within the One Network, but you've got a wider appreciation of what's going on with other businesses who may not be in your network.
Yeah. So I suppose the One Network is a very good window into what is happening with the small to medium-sized enterprises in the UK. It's a small, tiny kind of, snapshot maybe of what's happening. And I do speak to you guys every day. So just to be clear to everybody, the One Network is comprised of 1,500 members. I take that number from the Facebook group, 1,500 members, and who we've got in our CRM. Out of those 1,500, 100 of those are using Olga, and then about 70 of you are in the WhatsApp group. So these are the people that I'm interacting with every day. My own personal network is 11,000 business owners. They're not in the one community. So I would say what lies in store for the future of our company, we are looking to launch and build the software, automate that lead generation process for the small business owner. That's where it all starts. And if you can't get past that first challenge of, I need to get new business so that I can get cash flow coming in. So I think for the One Network, the next year is very exciting. We launched the software with the user interface, which you guys haven't had before. And then hopefully it should just blow up. It really should. And I hope that we go from connecting the small businesses who are mostly here in the UK to expanding on what we're touching upon, which is, as you know yourself, Hadi, being in the One Network, we are now connecting British businesses with other businesses outside of the UK where I go. There's no reason that the British business owner, having the challenges of cash flow, having all of these barriers, having the bureaucracy, I like that I'm giving the small British business owner the opportunity to leapfrog and bypass all of that to a certain extent. Having access to cheaper goods and services in India, for example, which is where my coders are, will be so good for everybody, not just the One members, but for everybody. I could never have built my business and the software if I hadn't have gone outside of the UK. That is very sad. What does that tell you about the stifling environment that small business owners and entrepreneurs find themselves in when they are trying to set up a business in the UK? I've had to go outside of the UK. If I'd stayed inside of the UK, I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't. But I'm very well traveled and I'm very lucky, and going to New York and seeing my grandparents start a business abroad and being successful for 30 years, I think has given me that mindset to look outside of the box. And all entrepreneurs need that. You need to be able to look outside of the box. You need to be able to believe in yourself and say yes when 100 people are telling you no. 100 people are telling you it's a bad idea, don't do it, awful things are going to happen to you. You've got to be able to dig down into your true self, into your inner core of who you are, and just say, no, I know, I feel it within myself, my gut instinct, that this is the right thing to do, and then just do it. Have the confidence to just do it. So I think we'll see the One Network blow up. We're going to connect the world. We're going to connect the world, bring everybody together, connect the world. And then for the small business owner, I think we are so tough. We are so resilient, and we'll continue to do very well. We are the 6th strongest economy in the world. London is very diverse. We make the most of the diversity.
I think it's going to go really well. It does sound very positive in that sense. I do feel with a lot of the regulations that have been coming in from the Labour Party, it should have been in the world of the Conservative Party. Because they're supposed to be the party for business, but they brought in more bureaucracy, more red tape in their 14 years. You know, that stifled growth. I think that Labour may go a slightly different road, but that's me being political in that sense. That's just me. Now, we're coming to the end of this, and before we go, because you've given me all the stuff that I need, how can people get in contact with you, and do you have any shout-outs that you want to give?
Yeah, so I want to give a huge shout-out to MP Bambos Charalambos, who has invited me to the House of Commons for the second time to talk about all things small business, and Emily Davison as well. So thank you to MP Bambos. Thank you to the Federation of Small Businesses. They have been a great source of support as I've been a business owner on this journey. Thank you to Barnet Council as well, who've been very supportive with our One members. And thank you to the One members, to your good self, Hadi, and all of our lovely One members who make up our community.
And you also got a very famous
business
fiance.
Community made up with
a great namesake.
members, and without you, we don't exist. So there's my shout out. No, ex-fiance, but we're the best of friends. But sure, okay, let's keep it real. Put my private life out there. I don't mind. So my art teacher and one of my very best friends in the whole world, and who opened up my eyes a lot, actually, in the last couple of years, as artists do, sculptor Clive Barker. Clive is very talented, and they're writing a autobiography on him, and he's not only helped to shape my view of the world from an artist's point of view, but also opened up a lot of doors for me and also for the One members, because art is such a hard sort of sector to get into. It's all about being original. A lot of it is about who you know. And so a big shout out to Clive.
Before we go, I will be putting in links to the One Network, but just in case if anyone wants to get in contact with you and learn a little bit more about One Network, especially the small business community, get more referrals, that kind of thing, how can they go about contacting yourself?
Yeah, sure. So you can. So we're actually the UK's best kept secret at the minute. until the user interface is here, and I'm happy with it. We're really not advertising or marketing ourselves, and all of the One members come along very organically, so it's lovely to have you. You can contact me, Emma Mattocks, on LinkedIn. Emma Mattocks, I'm on LinkedIn. Email emma@theonenetwork.org.
No, I'd rather not have your phone, just in case if it...
And do feel free to give me a call. I hope I don't regret giving my phone number out.
If you want, I'm happy with that. Go for it, Emma.
I was about to give it though. I'm very willing. Sure. So 07939 227
That's basically it. Emma, thank you so much. Your journey has been inspiring for anyone out there.
And drop the zero.
You know, it is true. Look, I may have come from a trade union background. I've also had a business background as well, and I recognize, especially with all of this, how intertwined it really is. And honest to God, you have been, especially from the Federation of Small Businesses, because they do fight for the small businesses on a political level as well. They are almost like the trade union umbrella organization for small businesses, and they need to get that support and that shout out, because it is a journey. Very small business owner, it can be a lonely path to walk down, and we need to support one another and not fight. The people that we do need to fight is for better regulations so that we can all thrive. And at this point in time, Emma, I have to say this. Honestly, you are unmatched. Guys, if you're following this, like, comment, subscribe, get in contact with Emma Mattocks if you're a small business owner. Get involved, do your stuff, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Take care, signing out.
Thank you for tuning in to the Unmatched podcast. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. Your feedback helps us grow and bring you even more incredible stories. And remember, if you're unmatched in your field and have a unique story to share, I'd love to hear from you. Reach out to me at hadi.naqvi@googlemail.com. Let's inspire others together.